Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this digital newscast. I'm Kate Kopatich, and we start this newscast with our weather, and joining us now is Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland. And Eric, we saw a really cold start to the week, and it doesn't seem like this winter weather is going to slow down anytime soon.
No, so we got the cold. Now we just need to add some snow, right?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see the sundog today?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, actually.
One of the things that we get with cold weather, and if you take a look at our Dubuque camera right now, really right over the D and U in Dubuque in the sky, you can kind of almost see that little section of a rainbow. That's on either side of the sun when we get cold weather. That is a sundog. And if you're interested, that's about 22 degrees from the sunlight looking straight at it. But again, that's a fixture of our cold weather. Nice blue skies all around the area, but you can see if you look on the horizon in Dubuque some clouds that will be coming our way as we go through the evening. A better shot of these on the satellite image. So we're going to spend a lot of the evening mostly cloudy, and then later tonight we will get some clearing back. Thankfully the winds will be slowing down a little bit, so we're not looking at extreme wind chills. We'll keep our first alert day that we had in effect through Tuesday up until midnight tonight, then we'll drop that because with light winds going into the morning, wind chills will be a lot better, especially than they were today. And you can see some of that clearing developing in northern Minnesota, eastern North Dakota. That's what will be pushing those clouds away as we get on into the night. But speaking about snow, we will have a first alert day for tomorrow evening as we get some light snow developing, especially north of Interstate 80. Could see for a few hours accumulations up to 1 to 2 inches, and with the pavement really cold now, that will stick to the roads most likely. And then Wednesday, another chance for some late day snow, another inch or more. But this weekend, boy, you thought we had a struggle this morning. We're going to get wind chills that could be as cold as minus 30 to minus 40 for our Friday morning especially. Then we'll do it again with a little bit of an ease in the wind chills on Saturday morning. Let's take a look at tonight. Again, we start with clouds, and then we'll get some clearing late this evening into the overnight. By the way, the northern lights could be out tonight if you're a brave soldier and want to get out and look for those, but they'll just be likely along the horizon if we can see those in the QC. Now, tomorrow starts off with some sun. We'll bring in some clouds, and then later in the day, we'll actually bring in that little wave of snow. You can kind of see that to the north and west. And as we go through Wednesday, then with that next system into Thursday, northern areas especially could get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow thanks to both of those systems. Let's quickly look at the temperatures now. Single digits from the Quad Cities north, barely into the teens south, and with our wind chills, boy, you can see it's still pretty cold off to the north with wind chills between minus 20 and minus 15 north of Highway 30. Look at the wind chills. That's a smaller number. As we get into tomorrow morning, you'll see that it's not going to be that big of a deal. That's why after midnight, we've pulled our first alert day, but those temperatures will be getting down to the low single digits. Tomorrow will rebound into the mid-20s, and from there, it looks like the warmest day we're going to see in the near term will be Wednesday with highs near 30. And then once again into this upcoming weekend, Friday morning and Saturday morning, first alert days because of those wind chills. It will be even colder than what we felt today. You get all the latest just by downloading the First Alert Weather app, free of charge, and that will give you radar in the palm of your hands, and you can track those wind chills as they drop to those bone-chilling numbers. Here as January has finally decided to say hello, Quad Cities.
It sure has decided to say hello, Quad
That's
Cities.
Right.
All right, well, now to an update on a house fire Friday night in Moline. Officials say a person was rescued from that fire, and They've now been pronounced dead. Crews responded to a house fire in the 4800 block of 47th Street around 5 Friday night. 2 people made it out of the home, but an 87-year-old had to be rescued. That person was taken to a local hospital for treatment, but passed away Saturday. The fire remains under investigation. And it was a cold morning for East Moline firefighters after they responded to a machine shop fire. Firefighters were called to this machine shop located off Illinois Route 5 around 8:40 this morning. The fire was coming from a heater vent and they were able to put it out in about 20 minutes, but they still had to deal with working water in the bitter cold. And later, a woman was rescued, or escaped rather, from a house fire in Moline. Officials say smoke significantly damaged a home in the 2600 block of 6th Street. A woman was inside the home at the time of the fire, but got out safely. No word yet on the cause of the fire. Now to an update on a story we brought you last night. Clinton police say a missing woman has been found safe. In a Facebook post Saturday, officials say Haley Norris was last seen Friday morning around 7:15. This afternoon, police provided an update saying Norris was found safe. In a post, the department thanks the people of Clinton and the surrounding community for their assistance. They say an investigation is still ongoing. Moving now to national headlines, President Donald Trump has linked his aggressive push to acquire Greenland to a Nobel Peace Prize snub. The revelation came in a text message to Norway's Prime Minister, and as Trump escalates a trade war with Europe. Karen Kafer reports from Washington.
President Donald Trump tying his pursuit of Greenland to a snub by Norway's Nobel Prize Committee. In a text message to Norway's Prime Minister Sunday, Trump said, quote, "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace." Trump's escalating threats shaking NATO allies, including Denmark, of which Greenland is an autonomous part. Trump also threatened an additional 10% tariff on goods from several European countries that oppose his plan. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday called for tensions to cool. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has had positive relations with Trump, also called the tariff threat a mistake.
Devo dirvi che la previsione di un aumento dei dazi nei confronti di quelle nazioni che hanno scelto di contribuire alla sicurezza della Groenlandia.
The EU, in retaliation, considering a so-called trade bazooka that would cut off U.S. access to key European markets and other economic countermeasures. Trump has previously insisted a U.S. Greenland acquisition is key to national security and keeping Russian and Chinese ships out of the region. Greenland's premier said on social media Monday, quote, "We don't let ourselves be pressured. We stand firm on dialogue, on respect, and on international law." In Washington, I'm Karen Kafer.
Happening today, the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center in Rock Island held its annual MLK Day Memorial Service and Awards celebration. The theme for this year's service is a time for vigorous and positive action. The event features presentations and performances in honor of Dr. King. Scholarships and awards were also handed out. The event also kicks off a photography exhibit at the MLK Center. It features photos of Rock Island's West End and captions, all created by Thurgood Marshall Learning Center students. Also happening today, the annual QC Farm Show returns to Rock Island this week. The event at the QCCA Expo Center shows off the latest agriculture equipment, technology, products, and services. It also gives farmers around the QCA the opportunity to talk directly with vendors and get ready for the upcoming season. If you missed the farm show today, you can still check it out tomorrow from 9 to 3. And if you're dreaming of warmer weather and summer events, the Muscatine County Fair announced its grandstand schedule for this year. According to a release, country artist Mark Chestnut and singer-songwriter Josh Ross will take the stage at the fair. They're both set to perform on Saturday, July 18th. For ticket information, you can find a link to that on our KWQC News app and website. The Muscatine County Fair runs from July 15th through the 19th. And that does it for this digital newscast, but we'll be right back here at 5 o'clock with another digital update and more news and weather.